Hey guys, welcome back to another Hump Day lunch hour with me, Alexis Torres. Thanks guys for participating in the last couple, or actually just most of the past Hump Day lunch hours. I really appreciate it. I really liked the conversation starter we had with the reality TV one where we were talking about the Kardashians and things like that, and then the other one with health as well. As well. I can't talk today. I apologize that it's clearly Thursday. Well, it's not clearly to you, it's clearly to me. I did film pretty much like a part of my Hump Day lunch hour yesterday, but my battery died and I didn't have a charger with me until I got home. So I was just like, well, now it's dark and it's gonna look weird if it jumps from light to day, so forget it. Let's just do it all over again. So that's what I'm doing. Today for lunch, I'm having, sorry. Today I am having Panera. I had their chicken Caesar salad with avocado. I'm trying to be healthy, which is funny how we talked about before about trying to be healthier and how, eating healthy and things like that. I decided that I actually am going to start treating my body just a tiny bit better, mostly just because I had a really bad anxiety attack and it pretty much just not left me defenseless. That's not the correct word. It's more like my body had a hard time recuperating, mostly just because I haven't been exercising at all, because the fact that I have two jobs and I'm sitting the whole time, that's pretty much where it was at. So, because I literally sit to go to work, then sit for 8 to 9 hours at my one job, get back into the car, sit in traffic for 45 minutes, and then sit at AfterBuzz for about 3 to 5 hours, and then host for another that. So, I mean, technically at AfterBuzz I do walk around a lot because I have to go from studio to studio, but it's not the same. So, and then on the weekends, because I'm so tired from the week, I end up just kind of sleeping and playing video games all day. So I realized that my body is actually not getting enough walking. So I was like, gotta fix that. But speaking of health and all that kind of stuff, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, was mental health. If you don't know much about me, which I know some of you do and some of you don't, I've been struggling with anxiety and depression for quite some time now, but I didn't actually go get help for it until probably last year. So to cut, not to cut everything out and trying to just simplify it as much as it can, or I can, is that when I was in high school, I was going through some weird stuff and I was bullied all my life, and so I didn't realize that over time this condition was starting to kind of acclimate, what's the word, I guess build up. And then as I went to college, because I was the first one to leave, for my family to leave and to go to college and actually get their bachelor's and things, because I believe my grandmother got her bachelor's in the Philippines, but I think it's for English, but for something that, I truly cared about. I think my grandmother did it just because she wanted to just get her bachelor's degree, and I think back then it was pretty easy, but I mean, that's just what I've heard. I have no idea what the full story is, but I always felt like my chest was tight, and I always felt that I was always anxious and fidgety and sick and everything. My body just wasn't communicating with myself, and it was really hard to just get, a grasp on it. And I have social anxiety is what I have. And stop honking, I'm trying to film. And then I was dating a guy for a while, a really good while, and he was a good friend of mine from high school. And then I had another boyfriend who was long-term in college, and I also noticed that this kind of continued, and I didn't really understand why my body was doing this. I thought it was just because I was tired, or I was stressed out because I was, in school, and, because I went to an art school, so you had to film a film every week and also have other stuff and other projects going at the same time and trying to also look for a job. It was bananas. And then now currently, about a couple of years ago, I noticed that my body and my condition was getting worse, and I didn't know why. And it got to the point where apparently I became so depressed because of the fact that I didn't have a job at the time. I think I was 6 to 12 months without having a job. I was always home. I was applying everywhere, and I couldn't really get a film gig going, and it was just a really bad time. I lost a lot of my friends. I was just getting into a new relationship after dealing with a really long-term relationship where I was trying to think of my future. My family and I were arguing. It was a whole slew of things, and and pretty much just one day, I guess I just kind of snapped and pretty much wanted to jump out of a window, which I think we were on the second story or something like that. And that's when the person I'm currently dating was like, you need to go to a doctor. And of course, when you hear those words, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm crazy. They're going to put me into a loony bin and I'm going to be strapped in and you'll never see me again. But it was mostly just, he was just concerned because I was just so unhappy. You know, I didn't really eat as much. My weight was kind of fluctuating back and forth. I called out of work a lot. I just wasn't myself, and he noticed that from the first time that we were dating to the point where it was happening. So I went to the doctor, and this lady was really great. I love her so much, and pretty much when I called, which is so funny because you're thinking like, how do you call in for that? Like, do you go for like a checkup? Like, do you tell them what's going on? So I didn't feel comfortable telling the front desk lady or the nurse, yeah, I'm here because I wanted to kill myself. I pretty much just told her that I was feeling ill, like I was feeling sick and kind of faint, and she's like, yeah, okay, let's go take a look at that. And so they made like a checkup, and of course the nurse is just like, okay, you know, are you taking anything, whatever? And I was like, no, but I started to before, which is really funny because I used to never smoke. During this same time, I was like, yes, I started to smoke, I started to drink more, things like that, and people were just like, what? You've never done that before? And I was like, well, doing it now. And pretty much when my doctor came in, she knew immediately there was something different from the last time she saw me, and we just, for an hour, almost 2 hours, we were just talking about everything. And so she pretty much gave me like a test to take, specifically asking like very specific questions. And then also it was pretty much like a therapy session. She found out that I have social anxiety because of the fact that my first boyfriend that I had, like way back when, was very abusive. He used to tell me I couldn't wear a certain thing or do my hair a certain way, and I couldn't talk when I wasn't supposed to talk, and if I ever made a mistake, I was supposed to say sorry, and I had to act a certain way pretty much, and I had to look a certain way. And I guess that's where that stems, is because with social anxiety, you have to you're perceiving yourself in a different light that other people but you're thinking the worst scenario, but to them they're just kind of like, oh, I'm just talking to this girl, her name's Alexis. But in my brain they're thinking, oh, she's a terrible human being, you know, I'm talking to her because I have to talk to her, but I hate her because she's stupid. Like, that's what my brain is telling me, because I had someone telling me, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, every single day the whole time that we were together, which was pretty long. And so apparently over time that's what triggers are, and then I'm trained like a dog to know that I'm just an unworthy piece of crap, and that's just the first thing that comes to my brain. That was a terrible snap. So I tend to apologize a lot. I tend to overthink scenarios. Anytime that there's like a big group of people that I don't know and I only know one person, I'm usually the introvert who's in the back trying to find a pet or something like that. But that's me, because in my brain I'm literally thinking every single person I meet hates me. And then eventually after time, you know, I'll get there, but I always have to feel like I need to be a certain way in front of them, and that's why I'm anxious all the time. And I was like, wow, I would have never thought about that, but the fact that we talked for 2 hours makes sense. And so she pretty much, you know, a lot of people don't like to take medication. I did, and it was mostly just something to send serotonin through my body, which is pretty much just meaning that it's trying to send happy charges throughout my body so I don't have to worry so much. And I've been on that for a while. There's also different ways of obviously being more natural about it. There's these things called happy teas that's supposed to send, you know, it's supposed to calm your body so that you're not as anxious. Some people smoke weed, some people do other things. Like, there's so many different things that you can do. I don't smoke weed because I'm allergic, so that's not an option. But like, you know, exercising is one thing, you know, talking to a therapist is definitely a thing. I was doing that for a while. Still kind of doing that. And just really taking care of myself. And this is not like, hey guys, you should go get checked. Like, that's not what it is. It's mostly just the fact of like, you know, BuzzFeed does a bunch of stuff all the time too for people who have mental health, and like, I know Demi Lovato is a pretty big advocate for that because she was also going through being, I think, bipolar or something of that nature. But like, it was very interesting because someone brought up, they're like, I would have never pegged you for being a depressed person. And I was like, that's weird to say. But, you know, it's because the fact that my social anxiety teaches me, well, pretty much forces me to become this happy-go-lucky person, but at the same time inside I just want to curl up into a ball and cry for like 2 hours. And after talking to this really awesome person, her name is Roxy. If you don't know who she is, you should check her out. Roxy Stryer on Twitter and Instagram, I believe. She also deals with the same thing, and she's worked with me for months now and has been fantastic, and she told me all her stuff. Like, it's crazy to find out so many things about different people that you would have never suspected unless you actually got to know them. And that's why a lot of people are always just like, wait, what do you mean you used to be depressed and you wanted to kill yourself and do all these crazy stuff? Like, it's just what my past was, and it was rough. Not everybody has a rough past, but there's always just that one instance where you're like, yeah, that was a crazy time in my life and I've learned from it, or I'm working on it, or something of that nature, or they're going through it and maybe they don't know, and I didn't really take the time to pay attention to it until someone brought it up, you know? So, you know, what do you guys think about mental health? Do you know anybody who has, not problems, but is struggling with that? Do you really like the fact that it's being brought out into the limelight, like with Demi Lovato or BuzzFeed or whatever? Do you have it? What are your ways of tackling your tactics? Because mine are definitely not the greatest. It's just something that I have to work on. Or do you have tips that I don't know about that you would love to tell me? Because I'm constantly trying to learn more about social anxiety and depression, and trying to get through all that kind of stuff and being a positive person. I know my friend Janelle definitely has brought up just, you know, sending me stuff to get over my fear of whatever, and just really showing me that, like, you should love you. So there's that as well. Meditation, things like that. Like, you know, what I know that this is the longest probably one I've done in a while, but like, I'm really glad that you guys are here to hang out with me, and I hope that this wasn't too personal for you, because I know that I'm always sitting here going, I'm gonna do one where you really get to know me, and then I never do it. So there's one. So that's the one thing that I'm trying to go the distance with, especially since 2016. I told myself I was going to work on me and be happy and do things that I was afraid to do, and do it now, like the tattoo, and obviously talking about mental health and trying to vlog about me and actually be able to be more positive about me in general. But enough about me, we're done here. But thanks guys again for hanging out with me during my lunch hour. It's actually like way over the time, so I actually have to go. But tomorrow I am leaving for Hawaii with my family, because my brother got accepted into the University of Hawaii for a merit scholarship, I believe. So we're gonna be there for a week and some change. So I'm gonna start my Hawaii vlog tomorrow. I'm probably gonna do a lot of parts, so don't be freaked out if you see like part 1, part 1.5, and then 2, and then 2.5, because my camera's not very good, so I'm just gonna upload everything immediately. And if not, it will be uploaded at the end of the night, because our times are gonna be different. So just keep an eye out for that. It will be a really awesome vlog, and you'll get to see a lot of where we're gonna be staying, his campus, stuff like that. It's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be weird because you're gonna see my family, and I do love my family. I really, really do, but like my mom and my dad are not very keen on being on camera, so just be ready for that. It will be a little awkward, and I apologize ahead of time. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and sticking to it. Go check out the other Humpday lunch hours. Go check out the reality TV one, the health one, and I believe we did rainy days and musicals. So go ahead and throw in whatever you want. Use that hashtag Humpday lunch hour, and I'll check it out. Ask me questions if you want to know more things about me or anything of that nature, or anything else you want me to talk about for the next one, which will be in Hawaii, so it's gonna be a little weird. But anyway guys, you're all amazing, wonderful people. Just be kind to one another, as Ellen says, and you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys later. Or in Hawaii. Bye guys.